Hello! This shall be Gotham Seasons 1 through 5, the complete series ranked from 5 to 1. I've enjoyed every season, but this was a request video, and so I decided to do a little ranking of them. So, without further ado, shall we begin? So, coming in 5th place is the first season. This was the season that kicked it all off. This was also the season they introduced the new character that was never in the comics before, Fish Mooney. And then we have, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but the guy, Robin Lord Taylor is the Penguin, Ben McKenzie is Jim Gordon, and I gotta say, I think Ben McKenzie is actually one of the best Jim Gordons there is in general. But anyway, this is the first, the season that they actually do it kind of like a detective story. It mainly actually follows Gordon and Bullock, and it actually doesn't follow a lot with Bruce. It does follow him a little bit, him and Alfred played by Sean Pertwee, which I actually think is the best Alfred out of all of them. But this was a very police kind of drama, and I thought it was good, but I don't think it was good as the other seasons. That's why it's in number 5th place. So anyway, coming in number 5 is 1. So coming in number 4th place is whoa, almost fell over. Season 2. This was a season where things started getting a little bit more crazy, and Fox actually embraced the just the psychoticness of the show. And this is where I think the show actually really took off. We started following Bruce more on his journey to become Batman, and we started seeing a darker side, a much darker side of Jim Gordon. And we got introduced to Michael Chiklis's character, Captain Barnes, sorry. And I thought, he was a great addition to it, and the way that his character develops throughout this season and the next season, I thought it was great. But anyway, this is the season that they follow Theo Gallivan, and there will be spoilers. He later on actually gets killed by Penguin and Gordon, but Gordon is actually the one that pulls the trigger. But Penguin had such a grudge against him because he actually killed his mother, and then, we see the darker side of Jim after he kills Theo, but then Theo comes back. I can't remember exactly how they brought him back, but they did bring him back. What's his name? Professor Strange brought him back, and Professor Strange is played by D.B. Wong, and I think he does an amazing job as Professor Strange. And then, he comes back as Azrael, and it was really cool. Then we started seeing more of Selina actually becoming Catwoman that we knew from the comics, and just anyway, I thought it was a really good season. This is where the show actually started getting really good. But anyway, coming in 4th place is 2. Oh God! So sorry about that. Coming in 3rd place is season 3. This was the Mad Hatter season / the resurrection of Jerome, because he died in season 2 because he became part of Theo Gallivant's little band, and then Theo ended up stabbing him in the neck. But because of popular demand, he came back later on in this season. And I gotta say, Mad Hatter has a huge arc in this season that later with Alice and all that, and it really dives into his lore, and I thought it was really good. And then we see a bit more of Bruce becoming Batman. I believe this is the season. Yeah, this is the season that we meet the shaman, which at first I thought was Ra's al Ghul, but later on I found out that it wasn't. But anyway, this season they also introduced Ra's al Ghul, and I gotta say, this Ra's al Ghul looks exactly like out of the comics. They literally just went to a comic, picked him out, and then that was him. I thought he did a great job as Ra's al Ghul. He has a much bigger role in season 4, which I think is a lot more funner with what they did with him. But this is a season that Bruce actually he legit kills Alfred, but then he brings him back with the Lazarus Pit and all that, and so they did actually introduce the Lazarus Pit too, and they actually had it as the green Lazarus Pit, which I thought was actually really cool. But anyway, coming in 3rd place is season 3. So coming in 2nd place is the complete 5th and final season. This was a season that we actually saw all the characters turn into who they are meant to be. Jeremiah actually became the Joker. They just called him Jay in it because at the time they couldn't use the name Joker on TV because I think this was at the same time that the movie was coming out. But anyway, we got to see him become Joker. Then we finally got to see Bruce become Batman, and then in the final shot of the series, we got to see him in the bat suit. This is a season that did No Man's Land, so we also got introduced to Bane, which is a very different take on Bane. He had the mask and all that, just like the Tom Hardy one. But this was, like, it did it a little differently as well, because he was actually a friend of Jim Gordon's from the war, and then find out later he was actually just sent in there. I can't remember the exact reason, but I remember it wasn't what he said, and then him and Jim had a huge fight. He ended up punching him right onto a steel rod that pretty much killed him until they brought him back with, like, all that fun stuff. And then they have a cool fight. Mutant Leader is also in this season and all that, and it was a really fun season. I was very glad to see it happen because it almost didn't happen, and it was like it was great. We got to see Penguin fat as well. So coming in second is 5. So coming in first place is oh no, that's Flash. Whoops. So anyway, coming in first place is season 4. This was a season that I thought was the absolute best. The first half of it was actually about Professor Pig, and I think he's a very, very underrated Batman villain, and we finally got to see him, like, in the full spotlight. Michael Kravis, or Krevis, however you say his last name. I thought he did great as Professor Pig. We also got, Falcone's daughter's name. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I don't know if it says it on the back. No, it doesn't. But anyway, this is a season that, like, Riddler was in full swing. Professor Pig was in full swing. This is a season that we got, well, Riddler was, like, kind of dumbed down for half of it, and I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, he actually was. Solomon Grundy was in it because Butch got killed in the last season. Like, this was a great version of Solomon Grundy, but I gotta say, I think Stargirl actually did Solomon Grundy a bit better, but that's just my personal opinion. It's just, it's not the right one, it's just mine. But anyway, Ra's al Ghul is back again in this season, and this is a season where Jerome died. He fell off a building and then just, like, splattered on the ground, and then we got introduced to his brother Jeremiah, which is also played by the same actor, Cameron Monaghan. And then like, he tortures his brother from the grave, and he becomes crazy, and he becomes, like, a very, like, Dark Knight Returns type of Joker, which I thought was great. And then he ends up teaming up with Ra's al Ghul, and it's just an awesome season finale, and it's my favorite season out of the complete series, and I would 100% recommend this season. It's hard to see because of the glare, but... So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a subscribe so I know to keep making more of these. If you have any video requests, please put them down in the comments below. I will most likely reply. Tell me what your Gotham ranking is also in the comments down below. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye! I'm Batman.